I had a question about the addition of the 10 additional talent points for every class and affecting the availability of all the gold medal talents you were talking about. I mean, it seems kind of scary that in 10 more levels we're going to have like vamp touching Shadow Priest with improved death running around in arenas, you know, and concussion blow, mortal strike warriors with frenzy or whatever. And how do you plan on stopping us from having nightmares about arenas in 10 levels?
Well, by giving you other cool abilities to counter those kinds of things. I mean, really, people said the exact same thing before Burning Crusade came out. Oh my God, with level 61 to 70, warriors are going to be able to get Mortal Strike and Death Wish or Flurry, etc. How is that possibly going to be dealt with? So we do things to try to make sure that if you keep going down to 51 point talent, that's very attractive. And so you have this choice to make of, well, do I want to be the 41-20 guy, or do I want to be the 51-20 guy or the 41-21, etc. Right on.
Thanks for taking my question. At the last Blizzcon, one of the things that was mentioned is paladins being in the back of raids. What can we do about holy pallies and get them to move forward? Right. This also goes into PvP, where in the arenas, my pally, for example, is always trying to get range from people.
So a lot of that is kind of dependent on the way you spec. We actually kind of expect the Holy Paladin spec to play a little bit more like that. And right now that spec is extremely powerful just in terms of its sheer mana efficiency for healing. So what I'd like to do is see a future where the Holy Paladins that spec in that particular direction can continue to play that way. It's not necessarily true that every Paladin doesn't want to play like that. It's just we want to make sure that there are viable alternatives. So you don't have to play like that, and you can still be a viable contributor if you spec Retribution, for example, and get up there and start beating on people.
I'll take one more question.
What's it going to be?
Better be good.
Before the expansion, at the high-end rating, Warrior's the only viable tank. And if you really try to Bear could be a viable tank. And now with the expansion, Bears are nearly even with Warriors most of the time. And even better in a few cases. And Paladins are in that, if you really try, they can be good tanks. Do you see Paladins becoming up there equal? And Death Knights too?
Yeah, there actually are some situations where the Paladins really do shine, like a lot of the kind of AE tanking scenarios where Paladins can use their concentration, etc., and kind of heal themselves to heal through a lot of AE scenarios and tank it at the same time. But I do actually expect us to make some improvements to the perfection tree. Like one of the places where they really lag is they don't have the kind of comparable number of hit points that the Warriors or Bears have. So that's something that we're going to address in Deep Protection. Never heard of it. Girlfriend aggro, gotta go. So Fear War, we do actually expect to spread that around a little bit more in the expansion. Well, we do actually have another class session tomorrow, so if you guys have more of these questions, feel free to come to our class session tomorrow and we'll get some more of these taken care of.
Thanks for coming. After this panel, we have the